This is a short video about logs, what they represent and how to evaluate them without using a calculator. Logs are related to indices and we will use indices or exponents when trying to evaluate logs. So here's our example, log to the base 3 of 9, and we're being asked to evaluate this. Now log to the base 3 of 9, if we're being asked to evaluate it, it must have a number solution. So it's worth something. We don't know what yet. Let's call it x. So I'm just letting my log statement equal to x. To evaluate this without using a calculator, the easiest thing to do is actually write it as an exponential equation. To do this, I start with the base, which in this case is 3. From the base, I'm going to draw an arrow to the other side of the equation and then back to this 9 here. This helps me to visualize how to write down my exponential equation. So my exponential equation is going to be written like this. I'll start with the 3. Then x is my power, and it's equal to the 9. Now, in order to evaluate x and to work out my value for x, I'm just going to use my normal steps for solving an exponential equation. So what I want to do is I want to get the same base on both sides. In this case, that's going to be 3. On the left, I already have 3 to the x. On the right, I can write 9 as 3 to the power of 2. Now that I have the same base on both sides and just one term on each side of the equation, I can cancel out my base and just work with the exponents. So my solution is x equals to 2. So what does this mean for our original question? So we're after working out that log to the base 3 of 9 equals 2. What this means is that when I put 3 to the power of 2, I get 9. 2 is my solution. Let's look at one more example. I want to evaluate log to the base a half of 8. I'll let this expression equals to x. And now I'll draw in my arrows to remind myself of how the flow of the equation goes, and I'll create my exponential equation. If you're feeling confident, pause the video here and try this yourself. Okay, so here are my arrows. And now my equation is going to look like this. I'm going to have half, which is my base, the power of x equals 8. And now I'm just back in exponential equation territory and I want to solve for x. I want to get the same base on both sides. In this case, 2 looks like it could be a contender. So I'm going to write my 8 as 2 to a power and write my half as 2 to a power. Of course, a half is 2 to the power of minus 1. And now I've got 2 to the power of minus 1 all to the power of x. Don't forget, a power to a power, I want to multiply the powers. At this point, I've got the same base on both sides, so I can cancel that out and work with just the exponents. So minus 1x equals 3, and my solution is x equals to minus 3. Again, just to take a moment to reflect on what this actually means, it means that when I put a half to the power of minus 3, I get 8. It is possible to use your calculator with logs as well, although often the question was specified to do it without the calculator. If you want to do it in the calculator, let's take this example, log to the base a half of 8. You're going to press this button here, which is just directly underneath the on button. You're going to put in your half in the base, 1 over 2. You're going to arrow over, put the 8 in the brackets, press equals, and it's giving you a result of negative 3 as well. Even if the question says not to use the calculator, it can be useful to use the calculator to verify your solution.